Hello, welcome back. So this is part 2 of my travel journal video. In the first video, I flipped through my completed travel journal and show you kind of in depth about my recent trip and how I kind of journaled that. In this video, I just wanted to share with you what I brought with me, the supplies I brought with me, what I used, what I didn't use, and I always find these videos interesting, so I did want to kind of walk you through the Delfonics pouch and let you see everything in it. So this is a Delfonics utility pouch in the medium size. In this first pocket here, I have little scissors that I use for everything, fussy cutting. They work perfectly. They're called by a brand called Cutting Edge, so I'm not sure where I got them from. I've had them for a long time. In this next pocket, next to it, I have a whole bunch of different pens. So I have the Uniball Signo 0.38 in the khaki and the brown black color. I have the vintage Sarasa clip pens in the 0.5 size, and I have a Sarasa clip black pen as well, just to give myself a little bit more writing options. And it was a good thing I did, because I actually ended up using them a lot in my journal. So that's the Uniball Signo, that's the Sarasa. These are great because they are they don't bleed through on field notes paper, and unfortunately my fountain pens did bleed through. So these are the fountain pens that I brought with me. I brought the Pilot Prera in the fine and the medium, which are really nice for journaling small if you like to write small. I also brought my Twisbees, the Rose Gold Eco and the White Eco, and these I have in larger nib sizes. I have this one in a broad nib, and I did kind of titles with that, and this is in a medium nib, and I really do like how they look. Like, that's the broad nib inked up with Yamabukiro, and this one is the medium nib inked up with Iroshizuku Tsukushi. I'm probably butchering that, but yeah, those are inks that I really love, but unfortunately they do really bleed through. So I probably won't be using field notes for my next journal, but yeah, if I could, I would use them more. I brought along these clips from the Travelers Company. One's older than the other. I think it's this one that has a bit more patina, but yeah, they're really strong, really handy. Yeah, I loved using those to keep things open, and they're kind of indispensable. I also had a bulldog clip just in case I managed to leave those anywhere. I brought my mild liners. These are all the mild liner colors I own. I really love these. I love using them. They come in really pretty colors. This is one I got from Japan, which has this super cute Gudetama on it, which strikes me as hilarious, and I do really love the mustard yellow color. And I normally like to use these just to add a little pop of color to things, to do, you know, to kind of complement sketches when I don't want to do full-on coloring, and to do titles as well. And then I like to outline them. I just think that's a cute look. So those were the mild liners. So that's what I have all in the front of the pouch. And then in the back, so I used all of them. I used all of these. And yeah, I found that that worked out really well. This pouch didn't come with me day to day. It stayed at the accommodation or in the car. So it never, like I never had to worry about things tipping out of it either. And if I did, I probably would have packed it differently because things could tip out if I tipped this upside down. If it was in a bag or something, I was going to get really knocked about. But for a holiday within Australia, and getting to take the car with us, this worked out fine. In this back pocket, I have, and I didn't use these, I didn't use them, but I do like to use them in my journals. These stamped, they're actually water activated paper from my pen pal, or from my friend, I should say, Leslie. And I do really love those, but I didn't use them on this trip. So I think when you've got a small journal, you just have to remember to take small things with you. It's part of that, but if I was doing a full-size page, that could have been a nice accent. From my shop, I have these drop around stickers, so I do sell these, and I do like to use them. They tend to kind of migrate into kind of my journals and stuff, so I'll end up sort of using them, and then instead of putting them in the packet, I end up tucking them away. So those are the donut ones. And they do sneak their way onto the pages and stuff. So they're really handy. And then in this pocket here, I have all of my transfer stickers, like my whole transfer sticker collection, if you will. So right off the bat, I've got the tea house stickers from Pion, again from the MYSTIKO House shop. So if you're here in Australia and you're looking for really cute stationery, that's those stickers there next to my Devonshire tea scone sketch. Yeah, I really love them. They're so cute. So yeah, there's some that I didn't use all of them though. Like this is the Pion Garden, which I cannot wait to use. Oh no, I must have used it. That's a lie. It's in the journal somewhere because it wasn't used before I left on the trip. So I don't even remember where I've used it in the journal. Maybe, actually, did I use it on this page? I might have used it. That might have been it there on that first page because those are transfer stickers. I think so. Yeah, I think it was from this. So yeah, actually, I did end up using them. But yeah, I've got ones by MU Print On, and I've even got some stickers in there. Like I've got the Swatelier Korean stickers and more Pion transfers and Midori Mache stickers, which are fun, kind of tiny ones, and that's really cute because it just kind of lets you document, you know, a bit of journaling. Those are the Midori Mache ones. Yeah, so I really loved having all of those with me. I would definitely take these again. I do have other stickers, but I just tend to keep certain stickers in here and my transfer ones, and it helps me use them, having them at hand. And when I'm at home, I use this pouch on my desk, or I take it around with me too. So this is a kind of home for my journaling. So this got so beat up, but thank you so much, Connie. This Peppercorn Arts Wild Wood collection watercolor dot card sheet was so useful, and you can see, like, I did use them and I have used them in the past, but there's still so much watercolor on these dots, and it just makes it really easy. It's super light. It's just a sheet of paper to take with me on the go. These are actually incredible watercolors. They're really beautiful. I mean, you can see it on the watercolor paper, how stunning they are, how lovely and vibrant they look. And they did look vibrant, but unfortunately this paper, the field notes paper, isn't equipped to deal with watercolor. That was the one and only time I used it in here. And it actually looks pretty good. I think I used a fair bit of Venetian red for those rocks, for example, but it does bleed through. It just doesn't move around. You've got to use very little water, so you're a bit limited, so it doesn't do them justice. And that's not a fault of the watercolors, that's the field notes paper. But yeah, that was fantastic. If I was doing travel journaling again, I would take it with me. I just didn't get to make the most of it on this trip. In here I've got kitchen towel. I've got a whole bunch of sketching pens in this back pocket here. So things I use for sketching, things that I use for my drawing. So I tend to do things in pencil first. This is actually a glue pen. I don't use that for sketching. I use that to kind of paste things in when I've got something really small or a corner's lifted up. That's really handy. This is a Pentel Fudenosuke pen, the hard tip kind. Really, really good for doing brush lettering when you're, not used to it, or you're a beginner. That's one of my earliest attempts right at the beginning of the travel journal back in 2019. And yeah, I love how that turned out. I didn't use it on this trip, but I do use it a lot in general. It just lives permanently in my travel pouch, in my Delfonics pouch. A number 2 fine liner, which is what I mostly use to do all these drawings. I use the number 2 fine liner. A white gel pen. I like to use that for accents. A water brush to use with the watercolors. A small brush, which you can just dab onto the end of the water brush to get some water and have much better control with it. So that's really, really good to have as well. Hello again. So it's actually a couple of days later, the footage cut out, and I'm just going to pick up right where things left off. It is raining. I have the light on. Hopefully that's bright enough. And there is also construction next door, so hopefully the audio is still all right. But I just figured, it would be good just to continue and keep showing you guys my pouch. So I think this is where I was up to. I was talking about the sketching pens and the pens that I draw and write with. This is a Pentel Pullman. It's a felt tipped pen, and it's really good for writing with a bit of line variation. So it's quite a lovely pen. What else do I have? I have a Sharpie, which is actually a fine and ultra fine, and that's great for not really for journaling, but just if there's any kind of other sort of art projects. I just tend to keep it in there. I have another pencil, so I do keep them in a range. But the best pencil that I have by far, and I would highly recommend, is this mechanical pencil, a Uni Kurutoga 05. I hope that's showing up. And it's just a really nice mechanical pencil, lays down a nice dark line with very little pressure. And that's what I like to use on the go, because I don't always have access to a sharpener, and the rain is just picking up massively. Okay, in this pocket, in this back pocket, I have the ink pad I brought with me, a little Art Nick black one from that I picked up in Japan, and that's all I took with me in terms of inks. Black just goes a long way, and the more kind of stamping stuff you take, the more heavy it all gets. And then this is the sharpener that I take for my colored pencils, and I was just keeping that in there. It's a really nice sharpener. I keep it on that number 3 setting. For glues, I have just a basic glue stick and glue tape runner. These ones are ones I can get from Officeworks really easily. So that's why I like them. They work and they do the job. I also brought with me tape samples. So I didn't want to take the whole roll because that would bulk things up. So I decided to take a whole bunch of samples instead and roll them up. And this way I would have access to them. And it would work out really well for just conveniently keeping them together in there. So these are the tapes that you would have seen in my Pion video, and they are really, really gorgeous. And I did get to use them in my journal. So, you know, the nice thing, you know, if you don't want to cut them out ahead of time, like as you can see, you know, when I wanted part of the roll, I just cut it off the roll, just kept it all on there, and it was just easy to choose which designs I wanted. So I took the embossing tape, I took the soft girls with me as well. So here these are again. I'm not going to bother rolling them up right now because I'm kind of like looking at multiple things at once. I took with me the Twilight one and Bird Island, which you can actually see the little girls. They're really, really cute on there. And it has quotes as well as the birds. And here are some examples. So we've got the Twilight flower, Bird Island. And if I haven't probably said this and keep repeating myself, these tapes are available for sale in my shop, MYSTIKO House. So if you're looking for these really cute Pion tapes here in Australia, I gotcha. So that's the little girl from Bird Island. Super, super cute. These are from, that bird in the top corner is from Bird Island. This is from the Embossing PET tape. Same with this little design here. That's another one of the Bird Island. I think the music notes are two from Bird Island. One of the Twilight flowers, really, really pretty. One of the soft girls, again, one of the flowers. Yeah, so I really loved using them. It became a bit of a theme in my journal to use them. And yeah, having them with me made it really easy to access them. So yeah, those were the PET tapes. And then I brought with me stamps. So this is this was actually a freebie stamp set. I put it in this box. It didn't come in this box. And these are all little alphabet stamps that I picked up from the Sunday Scribbles table at the Melbourne Pen Show, which was super lovely. I didn't really have any small letter stamps. I really enjoyed using those, actually. I didn't know how much use I would get out of them, but I did. Like, I stamped, you know, kind of a cute kind of psycho little message there, and the word journal there, and I can't think if there's anywhere else I used them. So yeah, they were really good to have, and I might just keep them in my pouch all the time. Another set I brought with me but I didn't end up using were the Goddess stamps by Pion. These are super stunning, but they didn't really fit maybe the travel journaling. Like, I did even, you know, include stationery in my travel journal because while I was there I was journaling. It was sort of part of the experience, and I included like little bits of like pen and tape and sketching. It's a sketch on that little sticker, which is really cute, but I didn't really have an occasion to use, you know, a full-on goddess stamp, so I look forward to using these more. But yeah, it wasn't really one I would take with me on a travel journal again. I took with me these Chamille or Camille Garden. I'm not sure exactly the brand name, exactly how you pronounce it. I keep calling it Camel Garden, but that sounds like maybe that's not quite right. And these are really, really useful. I really enjoy using them just to add a kind of texture, a kind of, you know, vintage sort of detail that doesn't take away from what's going on the page. I like having those sorts of useful geometric stamps. So this is one of my favorite ones, a Yamadoro stamp with this girl holding a leaf. I use this all the time. This is part of the same stamp set. There's also a flower. Yes, I use this. I kind of have to keep myself from using it all the time. It is one of my all-time favorite stamps. She made it into this journal, and I've used her in the past. I know I have used, yeah, there it is again, and that's the stamp set, the whole set. So yeah, that one's super cute. I think it's discontinued, unfortunately, which kind of breaks my heart. But yeah, it is one of those kinds of stamps that you just go back to. These two I brought with me, and I think I have the third one inside. These are the little word stamps, oopsies, by Pion. And again, they were just a really cute touch. I think I did use them, and now I can't even recall where I did. But they're kind of versatile. You know, they say thanks and they say happiness, so you can really use them. Travel journaling, use them anywhere really. Last but not least, I had this December stamp by Lin Ning. I do love these month stamps. I use them all the time. Didn't use it though in this journal, so probably one I would include again. And this is kind of funny. Last thing in the pouch. So this isn't a giant eraser. I had an eraser with me and I lost it on the holiday. It was the only piece of stationery I lost. I think I was sketching at a cafe and I must have had the eraser in my lap, and then I don't know, maybe I stood up, and yeah, that was the only piece of stationery, only thing I lost on the holiday. And my mom picked this up for me when we were shopping for some groceries and things. So yeah, this came in handy, but this is obviously huge. It's not really travel friendly, but yeah, bring an eraser with you. That's that one is probably going to be harder to lose. So that was my pouch. So talk to you about the pouch. Sorry, that was out of focus. The journal, the watercolors. Where are my words today? Word salad day. Okay, that was not all the only things I brought with me though. I also ended up bringing with me 2 more traveler's notebooks, which is kind of unhinged. I didn't do any journaling in them though. Or well, not really. In this TSL collab journal, I put a pouch in here. The reason I took it with me was for the tarot journal. So I did take a tarot deck with me. I took the Gentle Tarot Pocket Deck, which was super cute and super handy to have. But I only did one reading the whole holiday. And I think the reason is it just felt complete. And then
I was just really enjoying nature. I was enjoying the experiences I was having, and I don't know, I didn't feel the need to reach the cards. I don't necessarily actually read for myself every day lately because it's just, I've been too busy this year. So it's almost like my personal readings have kind of, I still do read for myself, but just more casually. So yeah, I don't know, I would bring this again, but I would include it, like, and in the other insert I had was my ink journal, which since I've come back I have done a quick, I'll just cheekily show it to you, a new page in there, but with my new Melbourne fountain pen show ink, which I got from the pen show, which was really exciting. But yeah, I obviously didn't use this on the holiday, so this was just, I think, in there and I didn't take it out. They had someone doing calligraphy at the show, and they made that little bookmark and I stuck it on there, which is really cute. But yeah, so I didn't need this whole other journal, and I just needed the tarot insert. So there's that. And the other thing I brought with me was my trusty weekly TN. Like, I kind of threw them in the bag last minute. I didn't need them. This I did use because I used this, I had some stickers and stuff in here sort of saved, like backpack stickers and whale ones, and I did get to use them in the journal. There was a couple of pages, I think, where I used a backpack. It's a drawing of a backpack, that's not a backpack. So there's one example, and yeah, there's another kind of page where I used that. And there was also a few little bits of ephemera in here that I used, like these lovely hexagon stickers and things like that. So I did use them throughout the journal. And then this was really helpful, the card folder, where I had all these washi samples, and I pretty much used all of them. They all kind of got some use. And in the back, these are all lovely goodies that I recently received from Jennifer. Thank you so much. Did actually use them. I used a memo and one of those. And then these, the Kidder, which I used those too, the Kidder washi books. So they were really, really nifty to have. And then I probably did actually use, I just had in here some stickers, some washi cut out like that, and I had a few in here that I ended up using too that weren't in the little one. And then the only other insert in here is my weekly journal, which you've seen before, and yeah, I didn't touch that while I was on holiday. So yeah, I think that's kind of, because I needed more than just what was in here. Like I did use these samples, but then I ended up using even more washi tape, and I used, you know, more things than what just fits in there. That's part of the reason why I think my next travel journal will be a regular size. It won't necessarily be this one, but that I'll use, because then I can have a full-size folder with lots of pockets, this for lots of storage, the full-size sticker release book, and then the setup would be probably this weekly would come out, and instead I would have a travel journal insert. So yeah, that's everything on the journal front. And oh no, one last thing. So because this was a relaxing holiday where there was a lot of time to chill and enjoy, you know, nature and the beach and stuff, I took with me my Holbein pencils, and these are, you know, such a joy to use. They go down so well on every paper. Yeah, so I had a lot of fun. Actually, in the back I've put a whole bunch of the ink tents because there's extra space. That's a different kind of pencil. It's actually not a watercolor pencil, it's an ink. I don't have any examples of using that because this is not watercolor friendly paper, but you know, I use the Holbeins to do some colored pencil coloring. Sorry guys about the darkness, it's just such a horrible week with the rain, but I did want to show you all. So you know, these were all done, these were colored with Holbeins, and you can get like a lovely result with them. You know, I do quick things. I'm not doing anything too complicated. It's really small doodles that I'm coloring over, but when I do pull them out, I do really enjoy them. So I wouldn't ordinarily take this huge, and it does all zip up, so they're kind of secure, but you know, for this trip I did. So yeah, in the future I think having something like the Delfonics pouch and a travel journal, either a full size or a passport, but I think a full size one would be nice to have. Yeah, I think that's kind of, you know, a good setup, and it's something that I've used a lot for traveling around when I can take such a large quantity of things. Sorry about the bump. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you all in the next video. Bye for now.